Let's be real. In the world of human services and healthcare, using data, it's not a nice to have anymore. It's literally about survival. So many organizations feel like they're just operating in a fog, right? They're struggling to connect the dots. So the big question is, how do you get out of that fog? Well, today we're going to look at a path that takes you from total confusion to, hopefully, crystal clarity. Okay, so that path forward, it usually starts with an expert guide. And that's what we're looking at here, a process from the BI Collaborative. Now, these folks specialize in business intelligence just for human services. They've built something they call a data-driven assessment, and it's designed to do one thing: help organizations just like yours find their way out of that data fog. Okay, this quote, it kind of stops you in your tracks, right? Scott Batchick says the best way to look at where our industry is going is to look at where the physical health industry went with hospitals. The smaller hospitals have been consumed. Wow, I mean, that's a pretty chilling parallel. If you think back, the hospital industry saw massive consolidation, and the prediction here is that human services is heading down that exact same road. All of a sudden, being data-driven isn't just about being more efficient. It's about having the edge you need to literally survive. So, let's talk about the day-to-day. Does any of this sound familiar to you? You're spending countless hours wrestling with Excel spreadsheets. You have that gut feeling that your programs are making a difference, but you can't prove it with the numbers. And your data, it's trapped, it's siloed in finance, in HR, in your clinical systems, and none of them talk to each other. To top it all off, your funders are breathing down your neck, demanding performance-based metrics. If you're nodding your head right now, those are the exact pain points that are screaming it's time for a change. All right, so you know there's a problem. But the million-dollar question is, where do you even begin? It can feel overwhelming. Well, that's exactly where this data-driven assessment, or DDA for short, comes into play. Think of it as the GPS for your organization's entire data journey. So what is it really? At its heart, the DDA is like a total, comprehensive checkup for your organization's data health. It looks at everything: your tech, your day-to-day processes, and maybe most importantly, your culture around data. The whole point is to get this complete 360-degree view. And it's not just about finding what's broken, it's also about finding those hidden strengths you can build on. So what you get at the end isn't just some report card. It's a real, strategic, prioritized plan of attack. And this next point is absolutely crucial. So often, people think, oh, data, that's an IT thing. But that is a huge mistake. This is not an IT thing. This is an organization thing. We're talking about a fundamental strategic shift that has to involve everyone from the CEO right down to the frontline staff. For this to work, data has to become part of your organization's DNA. It has to influence decisions at every single level. So you might be wondering, how does the DDA actually get that 360-degree view? Well, it's not random. It's built around a really solid framework of 8 core dimensions of what they call data maturity. And using this framework ensures that absolutely no stone is left unturned. Just take a look at these 8 dimensions. You can see right away it's not just about the tech. It starts with the people, your data team, and having a clear strategy and vision. Then, yeah, it gets into the nuts and bolts: systems, infrastructure, and how you visualize it all. But look at those last 3: data culture, data governance, and data literacy. That's what's so telling. It proves this whole thing is a mix of tech, strategy, and most importantly, people. Because let's be honest, you can have the fanciest tech in the world, but if your team doesn't have the culture or the skills to actually use it, it's completely useless. And the best part? The scoring system is refreshingly simple. You don't need a PhD in statistics to understand this. For every one of those 8 dimensions, you get a score: a 0, a 1, or a 2. 0 means it basically doesn't exist. A 1 means, yeah, it exists, but it needs some serious improvement. And a 2 means it's there and it works well. That's it. This super simple scale immediately shows you exactly where your biggest gaps are and also where you're already strong. No complicated jargon, just a clear, honest snapshot. And if you've ever wondered, are we the only ones struggling with this stuff? Well, take a look at this. You are definitely not alone. This chart is so revealing. When organizations are asked what they want most from their data, what's number 1? Data aggregation, just pulling all the information together from all the different places. And right behind that, digitization, just getting away from all those manual processes. See? These aren't fancy high-in-the-sky problems. They're the fundamental, foundational challenges this whole process is built to tackle. Okay, so getting a score and identifying your pain points, that's great. That's step 1. But information without action is, well, it's just trivia, isn't it? The real power, the real value of the DDI is what happens next. It's all about transforming those findings into a clear, actionable plan. And let me be super clear about this. We are not talking about some massive 100-page report that's just going to sit on a shelf and collect dust. No way. The final result here is a practical, step-by-step roadmap that is designed from day one to actually be implemented. So let's look at how that roadmap actually breaks down. It's a phased approach, and it's really logical. Notice where it starts. Phase 1 is all about building the foundation, vision, strategy, and governance. You have to know why you're doing this before you build a single thing. It's only after that's in place that you move on to Phase 2, which is about your core data and getting things digitized. And the really cool stuff, the analytics, the dashboards, the visualizations, that comes later, in Phase 3, once that foundation is rock solid. It's such a smart, sequential process, where each step builds on the last. So, after all this work, what's the big payoff? What's the ultimate reward for going on this journey? Honestly, it boils down to one simple, powerful word: clarity. And that clarity isn't just a feeling. It translates into very real, tangible benefits. You finally get that honest, clear picture of where you stand right now. You get everyone in the organization on the same page, speaking the same data language. You stop throwing money away on the wrong tech, and you start making smart, prioritized investments that actually have an impact. And the end result? You build an organization that's more resilient, way more effective, and is genuinely ready for whatever the future throws at it. This last quote, for me, just gets to the absolute heart of the matter. It says, this is not an initiative. This is not another project. This is a way of life. And that's it, right there. Becoming data-driven is not a project you can check off a list. It is a deep cultural shift. It's a commitment to a totally new way of operating, a new way of making decisions, and a new way of measuring what success even looks like. It is a continuous, ongoing journey. Look, every single organization has data. Yours does. And right now, whether you know it or not, that data is telling a story. It's telling a story about what's working, what's not working, and where your biggest, most exciting opportunities are hiding. So really, there's only one question left to ask. Are you ready to listen?